Pokemon is a beloved franchise nationwide, and thanks to TikTok, many people now more than ever are playing Pokemon and beginning to learn what a Nuzlocke challenge is. But one thing I hardly ever see anymore is bigger YouTubers talk about older games. Don't get me wrong, the new Pokemon games are a blast and offer amazing adventures, but these games do as well, and I don't want them to be forgotten to time. Sure, they're a bit slower and clunkier, but that's all part of their personality. So, since I haven't seen too many people talk about it recently, I'd like to introduce you to Pokemon Emerald, the Hardcore Nuzlocke Challenge. So please, sit back, relax, and enjoy. Also, fair warning, this is my first time working and editing a project this big, so the editing may be a little fast, and I'm still figuring things out. But with that, enjoy. Like all Pokemon games, Pokemon Emerald starts you off by meeting the professor, who gives a bit of information about the world and shares their excitement. And then asks you to give a bit of information about yourself. Afterwards, unlike most Pokemon games, you arrive from the back of a moving truck, which seems a bit cruel given your dad didn't ride with you and mom on the way here. Either way, you go inside, set your clock, check your PC, and mom pulls you downstairs to listen about dad on the news. You're urged to meet the neighbor girl, so you barge in, look as if you're committing a crime, and then make a new friend, who just so happens to be the professor's daughter. Go outside the town to find the professor himself being chased by a wild Zigzagoon, and take a Pokemon from the bag to defend him. After defeating the Zigzagoon, go back with the professor to his lab, so he may gift you the Pokemon you used, and make sure you give it a nickname as well, so you can love it forever. Challenge his daughter, who apparently is a skilled trainer. Take her lunch money, and follow her back to the lab where you just came from. After seeing you're a skilled trainer in your own right, retrieve the Pokeballs and the Pokedex from the lab, and set off on your journey. Before you leave, talk to Mom one last time so she can give you magical shoes that let you go super fast, and make your way into the great unknown. Being a Pokemon Master is simple, really. First things first, expanding your team is crucial. We won't be defeating the champion with just one Pokemon by our side. And who knows, maybe one of these beginning Pokemon will be with us in the very end, when we fight the champion. After reinforcing the team a bit, head to Petalburg Gym, where you'll meet none other than your dad, who shows little interest in you right now because you're not very strong, but is more than willing to tell you to go help some random kid catch his first Pokemon. After the kid gets the rarest Pokemon on the route, Dad tells you to go get more badges before coming back to challenge him. The next route has a rich lady who spams an unnecessary full restore, flexing her wallet just a tad, but offers you a decent amount of money upon defeating her. Once you enter the Petalburg Woods, get your bug encounter, and then come upon a man who is not only lost, but manages to get jumped by a Team Aqua thug. After the thug has been defeated and runs off scared, take the gifted Great Ball from the man, and make your way out of the woods. Arriving at Rustboro allows us to do a few things, like break into this guy's house and get the HM for cut, visit a school in the middle of class and get an item from the teacher, and also grab a few more encounters before facing the gym. Like this bug Pokemon, for example. After heading into the cave and picking up the item, get your last encounter for the area because it may be needed. With one training session off screen, we're prepared to fight for the first gem. Thanks to the grass Pokemon we grabbed earlier on, we're able to make quick work of both of Roxanne's Geodude and put ourselves in a favorable position by wasting both of her potions. After surviving a scary critical hit, the gym leader's ace Pokemon faints, and we proudly claim our first badge. As you leave, get roped into helping the guy from the forest again, but also help an old man get his Pokemon back from the Team Aqua Grunt. Upon returning all the stolen goods and receiving a Pokénav, head back to the shack outside of Petalburg Woods, and the old man you helped will give you a ride across the ocean to the next location. Upon reaching Dewford, a few things can be done immediately. First, grab a fishing rod to gain more encounters. Afterwards, head into the cave where you'll get another encounter, and get the HM for Flash from this man. After reaching the deepest part of the cave, give this mysterious man a letter and receive a TM for it. Grind up the team once again and head into the gym where you'll stumble around in the dark until you reach the gym leader. Machop goes down to 1 gust from our mighty bug. Meditite is only able to survive 2. And after a few potion spams from Brawly, Makuhita goes down as well. Collect your second gym badge, and make your way to Slateport City. Head north through the city to get the next encounter, and make sure to knock it out. It's very vital. We don't need it. After getting an important item in town, head to the museum that is infested with Team Aqua. Take on a few grunts, and listen to the leader spout propaganda before leaving town and bumping into the professor. After exchanging numbers, head further north, where you'll be met by your rival, and fight what is generally considered the hardest rival fight in the game. After defeating them with no issue at all, head to Mauville, where you can break into this man's house and get an HM from him. Head to the Mauville gym, where Wally is waiting outside and wants to challenge you. After beating him easily, head west to get another encounter. And just like before, knock it out for no discernible reason. Give the team another training session and prepare for one of the hardest fights in the game. Start the fight off by taking out the Voltorb before it has a chance to self-destruct. Once Electrike hits the field, Shedinja can easily enter the field freely with no worry at all. After wasting one of Watson's potions, Electrite goes down, but not before paralyzing Shedinja. Magneton scares out Shedinja, so swapping around is necessary. But after becoming too comfortable, it's easy to slip up. And so, our first team member leaves us. Panic sets in, thinking about all the things that could have been done correctly, but all that can be done now is trying to win without losing anybody else. Magneton goes down and Watson sends out his ace Pokemon, Manectric. However, upon realizing Manectric has no dark moves, Shedinja easily comes in to finish up the fight. Grab the third badge and head to Verdanturf Town to the west, where two lovers are being separated by boulders that you can now easily destroy. After receiving the next HM, head north of Mauville to continue the journey. Making sure to grab a few more encounters to add to the team, and dodging every trainer outside the cave, continue northwest until reaching Fall Arbor Town. Make sure to check around for hidden items along the way. Check the crater for a nugget, and continue down to Route 114. Either grab the encounters in this area, or accidentally knock them out. Watch as Team Magma and Team Aqua squabble, and make the trek back to Route 112, where a mountain lift can be taken to Team Magma's operation. Upon entering the turf war, dispatch the Magma Goons with ease and prepare to confront the leader for the first time. After easily knocking out all of his Pokemon one by one and sending everyone on their way, buy some cookies from this local granny. Head south towards Lava Ridge, making sure to get an encounter along the way. After once again training up the team in preparation, walk straight into the gym and prepare to fight one of the hardest portions of the game. 4th and 5th gym, back to back. Admittedly, Flannery's first few Pokemon go down with no issue at all, but her Camerupt is nothing to be taken lightly. Letting loose a sun-boosted stab overheat is sure to take out many Pokemon, and Lanoon is no exception. But the loss of a team member just fuels the fire more to obtain victory, and so the rest of Flannery's Pokemon go down quickly. After obtaining the 4th gym badge and some special goggles from our rival, it's finally time to head back and face our father. Making sure to be prepared for this gym fight is very crucial. Leader Norman starts off with a few Pokemon who can easily be defeated with a few fighting type moves, but aren't to be taken lightly. Lanoon decides to max out its attack stat and attempts to sweep our entire team, but thanks to Typhoon, we barely manage to survive and make it to the last Pokemon, Slacking. Attempting to pivot between Pokemon who have Intimidate seems like a good idea until someone gets crit. And after managing to live on 1 HP in a dream, knock out the final Pokemon to receive the 5th gym badge. After getting the 5th badge and access to the HM Surf, the world is now open to explore. Head back to Mauville to meet Watson, who has a favor to ask of you. head to New Mauville to turn off the generator, and come back to receive a good item for later. Head east where you'll be stopped by Steven, who wants to chat and asks you who you are and what your reason for training Pokemon is. Afterwards, head to Route 119 for one final chance at redemption. Exploring north leads to the Weather Institute, which seems to have been taken over by Team Aqua. After heading inside and easily defeating both the Grunts and making quick work of the Admiral, receive the gift Pokemon from the Scientist and make your way outside, where you'll fight your rival once again. Just like last time, they're not difficult at all and decide to give you a nice prize upon winning. GlitchXCity is just north and holds the next badge, but Steven is on Route 120 and offers us something that we may need in order to progress any further. After catching the invisible Pokemon, the team gets trained once again, and it's time to head to GlitchXCity's gym. Winona can definitely sweep a team if not careful, but it all comes down to one Pokemon, Altaria. Not wanting to take an earthquake, Typhoon comes in and can barely survive a Dragon Breath, but manages to take the Altaria out. With the main threat out of the way, the rest of Winona's team go down relatively easy, and walking out with no casualties seems possible. After getting the 6th badge, trek south to Route 121, where Team Aqua can be overheard scheming about their next plan. After reaching Lily Cove, fight the rival one final time and convince them that maybe battling just isn't for them after all. Going south of Route 121 leads to Mount Pyre, where it seems that Team Aqua has already completed their task of taking the Red Orb. After getting the Magma Emblem, head back down Jagged Path where a lone Team Magma member once stood, and break into the hideout. After reaching the end of the hideout, confront Maxie once again as he attempts to awaken the sleeping Groudon. After entering the battle and realizing you may be a tad bit underleveled, a bit of anxiousness wells up again, and another member falls, so the rest may prevail. After getting a clean switch in thanks to Creep's sacrifice, Crobat, Camerupt, and Mightyena all fall with no more casualties. Listen to the Team Magma leader whine about losing before disappearing again. After making your way back to Slateport and barely missing the chance to stop Team Aqua, head to the Team Aqua hideout outside of Lily Cove. Don't forget to pick up a few goodies along the way before easily stomping out the admin in the area. Team Aqua gets away, so the only thing to do next is to head west to Moss Deep City. Here you can get an upgraded fishing rod, but ultimately the next task is taking on the gym leaders here. The first double battle gym fight can be daunting at first, but can also quickly become pretty easy. The first few Pokemon that enter battle are taken down pretty easily thanks to Typhoon's Bite and Surf combo, and after a few switches and a few more attacks, Tate and Liza are easily defeated with little issue, granting us the 7th badge. After walking outside and seeing that Team Magma's in the area, check out the space building nearby, where you'll be jumped and have to fight 3 goons back to back to back. After easily dispatching the Grunts, team up with Steven to fight Maxie and his admin once again. After sending Team Magma on their way, follow Steven back to his house to receive the HM08. Now with the ability to dive underwater, explore around until finding both Sootopolis City and Pacificlog City for later. After exploring the ocean depths and finding this underwater cave, enter the seafloor cavern to take on Team Aqua one final time. Don't forget to pick up the best move in the game. Just like the fight with Maxie, Archie of Team Aqua confronts you by a sleeping legendary Pokemon. However, unlike Maxie, this fight ends relatively quickly with no casualties. Making the same mistake that Maxie did, Archie awakens the sleeping legendary Pokemon with the incorrect orb, sending it into a frenzy as it disappears. The aftermath of these two mistakes apparently causing the weather around the Hoenn region to act erratic. Steven appears to let us know that Sootopolis City is the center point of everything, and we make our way back to the city where we see Kyogre and Groudon fighting. head to the northernmost point of Sootopolis City to the Cave of Origin. Inside, a man named Wallace helps deduce the location of Rayquaza. The only Pokemon able to quell Kyogre and Groudon must be at Sky Pillar. Fly to Pacifidlog, which is just west of Sky Pillar. After awakening the mighty beast, take a moment to watch the first real cutscene in a Pokemon game ever. After seeing the coolest shit your 8-year-old mind could have possibly seen in the early 2000s, listen to some old men reflect on why they're wrong, and gain access to both the final gym and the final HM. After flawlessly making your way through an ice puzzle that seems to trip many trainers up, prepare yourself to face the hardest challenge of the run yet. Thankfully, opening up Love Disc allows for an early KO, and we easily position ourselves to knock out most of the other members. However, on some 200 IQ prediction from the gym leader, a member carelessly falls to a stray ice beam. After taking a moment to mourn, thoughts and feelings are gathered. A new fire is lit underneath us as our Typhoon manages to strike down the Kingdra once and for all. Collect the final gym badge, but not without thinking of the empty slot currently on the team. With that, it's time to rebuild one final time. Pay your final tributes to those who have sacrificed themselves along the way, and make your way to Victory Road, where you'll be confronted one last time by a certain trainer. Wally opens up with a cruel reminder of what could have been, and so we take his first Pokemon in retaliation. After taking out a few more Pokemon and showcasing our newest member, we are down to the ace Pokemon, Gardevoir. Thankfully, Gardevoir goes down relatively easily, and only one thing left remains. Everything checked, heart and mind racing, palms sweaty, mom's Piscetti. Here we go. Sydney, an interesting man with an even more interesting hairstyle, is a practitioner of the Dark-type Pokemon. Unfortunately for him, we have a fire chicken who knows killer kung fu. One by one, Cayenne knocks out the opponent's Dark-type Pokemon with a powerful Brick Break. And the easy work is made of Sydney, as nothing he has stands a chance. Next to Phoebe, the Ghost-type Master. Attempting to stall with Protect and the ability Pressure, Phoebe expects to bait out attacks. However, we're smarter than the average Ursaring. With a few swords danced, Calamity is able to follow in Cayenne's footsteps and effortlessly KO each and every Pokemon, making this the easiest fight in the league. Next up is Glacia, and this is where a lot of problems could start to occur. If some of our moves don't land, we could lose someone here. Thankfully, Calamity is able to take out the first member, and Cayenne the second. But Walrein is where things start to get tricky. After an unfortunate freeze and crossing all of our fingers, Walrein does go down, without taking anybody with it. Afterwards, the rest of the members go down after a few hits, and a sigh of relief can be heard as we leave to the next room with all members still intact. However, not all good things can last forever. Drake opens up with a few Pokemon to try and take down Ether, but thanks to a few lucky critical hits, we easily knock out a lot of Drake's team, including the terrifying Kingdra. However, shortly after, it would appear. Salamence. And in a moment of ego, thinking Salamence would go down to one attack, we lose another member. Anger, confusion, disappointment, and myself all floods out as an ice beam nukes the Salamence and secures ourselves a fight with the champion. Taking one final breath and mourning our most recent loss, we gather up the courage to take on our final challenge. We enter the room to see none other than Wallace, congratulating us, but also ready to defend his title. Just like Juan, Wallace is a master of water-type Pokemon. Wailord thankfully goes down to a single Thunderbolt, and as Gyarados comes in, trying to trick us into attacking, we switch to our own Gyarados and fire off a quick Thunder to take out Wallace's. After switching around and barely surviving a Hydro Pump, Tentacruel also goes down to a Thunderbolt, but puts a member of ours out of commission for the rest of the fight. Whiscash comes out, but goes down quickly to any Grass-type move. Milotic, the ace Pokemon, comes in and deals massive damage, but not before going down to an unlucky crit. With a strong Hyper Beam from Calamity, Ludicolo goes down, and Wallace applauds us as he admits defeat. And finally, the moment arrives. The team members who gave themselves up for this journey, and those who still stand by your side, all looking on at you as you become the newest Pokemon champion. I wanted to share this experience with you because this game was there for me in some of the darkest moments of my life. And now that I'm older, I try to take the little things for granted less, including going back and playing some of these older games that brought so much joy to me as a child. Video games have always been an avenue for people to connect and make memories and friends, but as time goes on and the world becomes more agitated, I find it harder and harder to connect with people. But older games that were part of my childhood, I feel as if I could connect with just about anybody through those, and possibly put a smile on their face. Maybe I'll get to put someone at ease as they watch this video and fall asleep like so many online creators have done for me in the past. In a time filled with so much hatred, I want to use my videos to spread some joy and some love. Above all, I hope that sharing this video helps me connect with you, even if just a little. I hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.